about your past.
Nor did you.
Why would he kill his alibi?
We may be looking at a ritual murder.
You need to be very careful. There's death close at hand.
You don't say.
Grace, brand new series, starts tomorrow at 8 on ITV and ITV Hub.
This is Good Morning Britain.
And cue the rain. The opening chat. Go to.
Thank you.
Go for music.
And cue.
Every day from every angle. Weekdays on ITV Daytime.
Taking a look at all the very latest stories this lunchtime now, it's the ITV News.
Good afternoon, I'm Suzanne Virdee. Ukrainian officials have said in the past hour Russian forces in Mariupol have begun attacking a steel plant. That's the last Ukrainian stronghold in the city. Earlier, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said that the invasion of his country was just the beginning, warning that Russia wants to grab other countries, with Moldova feared to be in President Putin's sights as well. The UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres is due to meet both Vladimir Putin and President Zelensky next week. Today, Ukraine urged the UN to do more to help protect and evacuate around 100,000 people still trapped in Mariupol with little food, water or heat. Callum Watkinson has the latest.
It is being reported that the assault on the steelworks in Mariupol, where the city's last defenders are hunkered down, has now begun, overriding an earlier order to seal them up inside until they starve. Many of the residents who remain in this once thriving port city have spent weeks underground. I've been in the basement since March the 21st, this woman says. Another describes walking for an hour to the nearest aid point, where a queue of thousands is waiting for her. No wonder that in nearby Zaporizhia, those with loved ones still in Mariupol worry and wait for evacuation convoys and for news. Meanwhile, the UN Secretary-General said he will visit President Putin for peace talks this week, and President Zelensky too, though he was warning overnight that Russia has plans far beyond the Donbass. The news was spread today that their task now is allegedly to establish control over the south of Ukraine and reach the Moldovan border, he said. He refers to plans seemingly outlined to the Russian press by General Rustam Minakayev, which would see his troops push hundreds of miles further west. The Kremlin has not commented on what he said, but Moldova has expressed deep concern to Russia's ambassador there. Callum Watkinson, ITV News.
The Prime Minister has been warned that the Conservatives will reap voters' anger over the number 10 lockdown parties in the local elections next month. It comes as the threat of more police fines hangs over Boris Johnson and many others. Well, our political correspondent Dan Hewitt is here now. So, Dan, this scandal is certainly not dying down as Mr Johnson probably hoped.
No, it's not. Boris Johnson is desperate for this story to go away. In India this week, he was almost pleading for this story to go away. But the reality is it's not going away anytime soon because there's a long way to go in this. And that is the big fear for Conservative MPs. They worry that there is going to be this drip, drip, drip of damaging development in this story, and that is why right now they are seriously considering his future. The latest development is ITV News understands that fines have started to be dished out to officials in Downing Street regarding a bring your own booze party that took place in May 2020. Now, Boris Johnson has not received a fine for attending that event yet. I've spoken to Downing Street just before we came on air. They've confirmed that. But Boris Johnson confirmed he did attend that event in the gardens of Downing Street. He believes, though, and has always claimed that that event was a work event. He didn't believe it was a party. The key date here, I think, is the local elections on May the 6th. speak to Tory MPs, they say that's a date where it's the first test of public opinion since all of this happened. And I think Steve Baker today, a prominent backbench Tory MP, said if that turns out to be a bad election, which he believes it will, then that's the moment they may turn on Boris Johnson.
OK, Dan, we wait and see. Thanks very much. A P&O ferry that was being detained has now been cleared to sail. The Maritime and Coast Guard Agency prevented the Spirit of Britain from sailing earlier this month over safety issues. Safety concerns were raised after P&O ferries sacked nearly 800 crew and replaced them with cheaper agency staff. The ship's detention, along with the Pride of Kent vessel, caused a shortage of ferry capacity in the run-up to Easter on the key Dover to Calais route. Tesco has become the latest supermarket to ration cooking oil as a result of the war in Ukraine. They follow similar decisions by Morrisons and Waitrose, which have already limited customers to 2 bottles per person. Most of the UK's sunflower oil comes from Ukraine, but exports are drying up. And in France, the presidential campaign has officially ended and voters will go to the polls tomorrow to decide who will lead their country for the next 5 years. The latest opinion polls suggest Mr Macron has a narrow lead. It's going to be a big night for boxing fans as Tyson Fury prepares to defend his WBC heavyweight title against Dillian Whyte. A post-war record 94,000 tickets have been sold for the match at Wembley Stadium, making it the biggest crowd for a British fight this century. Fury, who weighed in less than a stone heavier than Whyte yesterday, promised fans they'd put on a show. Win or lose, both men will earn millions of pounds. And finally, new photographs of the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge's youngest son, Prince Louis, have been released to mark his 4th birthday today. They show the young prince barefoot, laughing and getting ready for a game of cricket on the beach. The photos were taken by his mum, Kate, as he played in the sand dunes in Norfolk earlier this month. And that is it. The evening news and sport is at 6 o'clock. Until then, have a great afternoon, won't you? Bye-bye.